Hey, this is Dave with Odd Frontier Games. I'm actually going to show you guys a breakdown of a deck that I made myself so you can understand how deck building works and how a deck actually looks. So let's take a gander. So this is my Mollusk deck, and this deck has 36 cards. You can have 36 to 40 cards. So the first thing I want to point out is even though this is a Mollusk deck, there's also some fish cards. There's a fish card. There's a fish card here, and there's a Nidaria. Where's the Nidaria? Oh yeah, the Tentafool. This is a Nidaria. So you don't have to have all the same creatures in the same deck, right? So this is a Mollusk deck. It's good at drawing cards, and one of the big things that you want to eventually do is you want to play the Grand Squigician, right? Grand Squigician is super powerful. Once as an additional cost to play this card, you must sacrifice a Squigician and a Holy Inquisition. I'm going to show you those really quick. Where the heck is that? This is the Holy Inquisition and this is the Squigician. You have to have both of these on the battlefield, okay? And then you have to sacrifice it to get the Grand Squigician. The Holy Inquisition, every time a Mollusk enters the battlefield, the person that played it gains 4 life. So you're going to be gaining a lot of life, but this is also used to summon the Grand Squigician. And so the Grand Squigician is super powerful, right? It costs 3 energy, which we're going to go over in a second. And so you have no max hand size. So usually you can only have a max of 7 cards. And if at the end of your turn, if you have more, then you actually have to discard 1. So this actually gives you no max hand size. And once per turn, you can pay 2 energy and reveal any amount of mollusks in your hand. And Grand Squigician gets piercing and plus 10 attack for each card revealed this way until your end of your turn. So if you have 5 mollusks in your hand, you can pay 2 energy and reveal it, and so and then you get plus 5 on top of this 30, so that would be 80 attack, and it has piercing. So if someone tries to block you, it actually goes through the block. The rest of the damage goes through the blocker and hits the player, sort of like Trample in Magic the Gathering. So a big thing in the Mollusk deck is drawing cards. So on this first row, these are all my engine cards. They're all 0 cost creatures, and you can play them. I'll show one. So you can play only 1 per turn. You play it just like a land, and but the thing is you can block. It has attack and defense, so you can block with it, and it usually has a pretty fancy ability. This is a super fun one, Slugnana. It makes all players draw 2 cards, so everyone draws cards. It's kind of a crazy card. It makes things a lot more fun, and but it also benefits your opponent as well, right? So you got to be sneaky with it. So I'm gonna go over just some of the important stuff here. This is a croaker. This is the fish in the deck, and the reason I put it in here is this just instantly destroys an artifact, which is crazy, right? So I always like to put one of these croakers in my deck. You don't always know if your opponent's gonna have an artifact, and it might be useless, but it's just such a if you can take out an artifact for free, well, you lose 3 life. It's totally worth it, right? So you draw a lot of cards. You're going to be playing a lot of phenomenons, which are just they just stay on the battlefield while you play them. It's very similar to artifacts. It's just got a different name. So there's a lot of different phenomenons. One of the best phenomenon is Mimic Pool. And every time you play a phenomenon, you draw another card. So this just gets your drawing cards more. And of course, you have a magic card. These cards are played instantly, and they don't stay on the battlefield. They go straight to your graveyard. And you draw 2 cards, and it only costs 2 if you have a Mollusk in your hand. So this is meditation is specifically good in a Mollusk deck. So this is my deck. This is what I've been playing. It's a pretty good deck, pretty solid deck. It's really fun to play. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day.